Today's film review is a horror film, and it is Eye for an Eye, which was directed by Colin Tilley.
Remember, you're dreaming. Remember, you're dreaming.
So we have Backrooms to thank for us watching this film. So Backrooms stars Finn Bennett, and he's also in this film. So we watched it a couple nights ago, and it was pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
At least it was at the beginning.
It was very terrifying. Like, very, very mixed bag of reviews right now. But yeah, we'll go into it right now.
This film is inspired by the tale of Mr. Sandman. So he's he's like an evil entity, I guess, who gives bad dreams to bad people. And essentially at the end of it, you know, if you've been on his bad list, then he will eventually come for your eyes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's why I've got glasses on today, to protect my eyes.
The character design for this was really cool. I think this was clearly like an independent horror film, so it didn't really look like it had a big budget, but at least to begin with, it very much had like a Guillermo del Toro kind of vibe. With the practical effects were creepy as shit, and the overall premise at the beginning was really intriguing, like very, very mysterious.
I'm laughing because I remember at the start of the film when they showed the character design and like some of the like production design. I remember just turning to you going like, what in the Guillermo del Toro is this? Like, it just was it had like such a del Toro vibe. Yeah, like Poppy said, the design of Sandman was insanely good. It's really hard because it's very balanced. I will just say, I rated it 2.5 out of 5, okay? So very 50-50, leaning either way. Poppy gave it a 3. She had a little bit, half a star more love for it. But yeah, there were many reasons for that. So in summary, the things I loved about this film, and obviously you can do this after, the things I loved about this film was the character design, the practical effects of like the creature and everything is insanely good. Like, hats off to them, they did so well with that. Some of the other character designs, not necessarily needing, you know, all the practical stuff, just people, the other characters, were very terrifying in their own right.
Yes.
So many scenes were very, very creepy. And like, yeah, it messed with your head. So it was really, really good in terms of that. The only issue I had is that it's like they were so proud of the monster, the creature that they created, that they showed it a little bit too much. Because at the start of the film I was proper creeped out by it, but by the final act, that third act where you're supposed to be extra terrified, I just didn't care too much because I'd seen it so many times throughout the film.
You kind of get used to it, right?
Yeah, it was just more of like, I just look at it in curiosity as opposed to be afraid of it. And if I'm watching a horror film, I want that final act to be like incredible. Like, I want it to terrify me. I want to be on the edge of my seats. I want to be like, you know, heart pumping. But unfortunately, this one kind of had a very anticlimactic ending. And unfortunately, that's the last thing you experience in a film. So for me, that kind of did very much change my whole perception of the film, change my whole idea of the film. And yeah, I unfortunately had to give it a little bit of a lower rating because that final act did not sit well for me.
I get that.
But over to you, because there were many good things about this as well.
One of my favourite things about this was the cinematography and the way that they portray the tree. The tree kind of feels like it's got its own life. So essentially, if you don't know the story of Mr. Sandman, you write a name on a tree and it comes for the name if they have done a bad enough deed to deserve being on there. And there was something about like the way they shot the forest and the tree. They genuinely made it feel like its kind of own thing.
Yeah.
And like an actual like threat just in the heart of the forest. And yeah, I think, like Sam said, a lot of it just kind of fell short. Almost like they had some really strong ideas and they just didn't fully go for them in the end.
Yeah, I think that summarises it pretty well.
Yeah.
Some great ideas, great concepts.
Yeah.
Just the execution lacked a little bit.
Yeah.
But like, respect to anyone for making a film, and that was a really good addition to the horror franchise.
It was,
you have many horrors that you rate really low, but then you kind of hold them in high regard in your head. Like, we've got like a whole like catalogue full of films back there, whole rack full of DVDs,
Yes.
old horror DVDs. Some of them are dog shit, but
They're dog shit.
Our dog shit. No, but they're so good. Like sometimes a bad horror film, or a bad film in general, can be an amazing horror film.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. A
Yes.
bad film, but a great horror film. That's the beauty of that franchise, that you can have so much fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just because I rated this 2.5 out of 5, I still like had a good time watching it,
Yeah.
and like respect the filmmakers and everything for how well they made a horror film. It creeped me the fuck out at the start. Just happened to like I got used to it.
Yeah, the family dynamic was really cool too. Just as the last note, because it's about this girl who moves into her grandmother's home. Her parents have just died, so it's it's the niche of horror films where someone's entering a town. The town's always had this thing, but her family are very, very involved in Mr. Sandman. Like you'll see from the get-go, her grandmother is freaky. She is played so well.
Yes.
Really, really cool. Really intriguing. So yeah, go and watch it if you haven't seen it. It is one of those horrors where it might leave you a little unsatisfied, but it's very entertaining. And you know what you're getting in for with horror films.
Yeah. Well, that was our review for Eye for an Eye. If you are in the UK or some in the US, the film is called Night Terror, where we watched it on Prime for some reason. So I don't know if they couldn't decide between the two names, or there was some copyright issues or whatever. But it's called Eye for an Eye on Letterboxd and things like that. So yes, go and check that out if you get a minute. Or an hour and a half.
Subscribe if you're new. We might watch some more shitty horrors that we can yap to you about. And maybe you... Yeah, I know, that's really cruel actually. It was a good horror. But I mean, like, we love those sort of horrors. So if you've got any recommendations, we might get to them at some point. And yeah, only if you subscribe though.
Yeah. We should do an honorary review for Inbred.
Oh my god, yeah.
Go watch Inbred.
Jesus.
Enough said.